last rapid fire round for you quickly, which is like 5. So you just have to pick. What is bigger, brand or content?
Content.
Okay, unpopular. Choose hustle life or unhustle life?
Unhustle life all the time.
I've read this also.
Strong propagator. I've discovered through hustling that unhustling is better.
Screen time. While talking about your screen time, how do you now fit in your unhustle life propagation? Please tell me.
Because I at some point realized that, the thing is that you try to hustle because it's glorified. And at some point, and I was reading about this thing. I forgot where I read it. But the fact that if you don't bring balance into your life, of like focusing on life as well and not just work, doesn't matter what you're building, you are going to suffer very soon, right? So Matthew Walker, the guy who writes about sleep, said this. He said, people say I'll sleep when I die. You're going to die soon if you don't sleep enough. So I think that's a fair statement to have made. He's like, your sake, I'll sleep when I die. If you don't sleep enough, you are going to die. So it will take you a year extra to do what you want to do, but you'll be far healthier, far happier.
Okay, moving on. Podcast or reading?
Oh, tough one. Podcast.
You personally also listen to more podcasts than you read, is what you're trying to say?
No, I read more, but I prefer podcasts as a way to consume content, just because I just find it more immersive in that sense. But I do listen to audiobooks while reading the book. So I don't know if that's a combination of both. It's a great hack, by the way.
Too many choices.
I learned it from a friend. So basically he said, is you want to consume a book, but you also want it, you sometimes want someone to read a book to you. Right. So you play the audiobook in your ears and you're reading it.
Just reading.
And the same book. And so then you're going to consume it faster.
You also see, you also think, you also listen. Okay.
Yeah.
But thank you for choosing podcasts for the community.
Podcasts always. I think we still haven't hit. We don't get how big an impact podcasts are going to have. They've changed how YouTube works. If you look at it, all YouTube has podcasts now.
Yeah, I know. The other day my father asked me also, but who listens to podcasts? I said, I'll just give you some time, couple of months, Dad. You will know who does.
You need to get them to one. So the point is this. I think anyone older, you need to get them to one podcast which they might listen to. And then they go in deeper. Because
that book, the reading habit, just you have to pick that one right book and you'll know why. Why are we listening to the whole series?
And right? It's not invasive, right? You can listen to it and not feel the pressure of looking at your screen. And there's nothing better than that. I think that's actually the main part.
I think for me, that hit mark is like, I love having conversation. Everybody loves talking to a friend, right? So when you pick the right book, it's just like that. You're talking to a friend, you're having a conversation. You can think about what they're talking while they're talking. It's just that you're not saying it back, but you are listening to a conversation, which is way more than a radio, way more intimate than a radio, and not generalized to a niche. But it's just, for me, it's a conversion of a conversation, which I absolutely love the idea of. Moving on, idea or execution?
It's a tough one though, because I'd actually go with idea, and I'd go idea with this disclaimer saying you got to find the right person to execute it, but the idea matters. If you have a bad idea and it has good execution, it still won't work as much. A good idea badly executed is bad, but you will still say, oh, idea acha tha, So in that sense, I mean, that's the only thing, but it's a tough one. I'd say kind of equal, but I'd veer towards idea.
Execution. I think I feel fairly like, about the good idea, it's very overrated. I feel a lot of us have a lot of good ideas and we get multiple of them each day. It's just the part, it's a very fine line of actually going ahead and,
you're making me switch my answer because you made a very valid point. I agree with you. So I will
execution, but
I'll come towards execution on the other side. Yeah. I think I'm moving sides on this one.
Okay. The last one. Advertising is dead or the Varun Duggirala show?
Leah and Papa podcast is my favorite. is the one I'd pick.
I mean, we all just did that before.
We haven't had a new episode though. I've been asking my co-host is very expensive. She doesn't want to do too many. She likes reels more now, and she wants to do those.
I mean, if you need natural content, you've got to wait.
Yeah, but in seriousness though, between both them, advertising is dead. That's where I started off. So much more I'd want to do on that show. The Varun Duggirala show is fun to do. I have zero aspirations on that show. I just have fun doing it.
I chose a Varun Duggirala show, and I thought so you will choose advertising dead because it's first, and so much more passion and hard work put in. That Varun.
I have some plans for it, so I'm looking forward to all that happening. Hopefully next year.
Yeah. Varun Duggirala show, what I believe already had your audience. Like, you built an audience with advertising. Yeah. So I fairly understand the whole distribution. But Varun Duggirala is one of those shows.
It's a very misunderstood show though. People call it my YouTube show many times. I'm like, guys, there are more episodes on audio than there are video.
I can't blame.
Yeah, which is why I think the audio blogs helped me make it that a lot more. Many times I'll do a YouTube video and they're like, oh, this could have been an episode on the Varun Duggirala show. I'm like, okay, that's great. I don't have to do one. Like last week, literally, I just took the audio of a video and I put it up. So I treat the Varun Duggirala show like it's my YouTube channel, but for audio. Maybe that's a good definition for the show.
Story, but just because you can't do that, you've made a show.
Yeah, exactly. That's actually the best summation of the Varun Duggirala show ever.
You actually could have lifted up the camera and talk about that. This is what I'm thinking today, but you just made a show out of it.
Yeah, I feel too self-conscious doing that too often.
Right, because you're only thinking about content.
That's true, and not brand. I agree.
It works.